Here is a detailed Ohio local county and community news report for May 15, 2026 through May 16, 2026, based on the available local reporting. Across Ohio's county and community news outlets, the period of May 15 and May 16 was marked by a mix of public safety updates, community events, school and youth activities, local government notices, and obituaries. In Barnesville and surrounding Belmont County communities, Barnesville area news highlighted several local developments. One of the most prominent community items was the Hoot-N-Holler Saturday feature, tied to the Barnesville Future Farmers of America chapter's annual event at Barnesville Memorial Park. The feature described the day-long gathering set for the following day, emphasizing the event's role as a popular local tradition bringing together students, families, and the broader community. Barnesville News also reported on the ongoing production of the Barnesville America's 250 mural. Residents painted about 40 tiles during a paint and sip event, continuing a public art project connected to Ohio's America 250 commemoration. In local government and public safety, Barnesville Area News also published excerpts from the Barnesville Police Log, covering incidents from May 4 through May 10, giving readers a window into routine police activity in the village. The site also carried local obituaries, including Monica and Finney of Bethesda, and other memorial notices, showing the outlet's continuing role as a community bulletin for both news and remembrance. In southeastern Ohio, the Scioto Post in Chillicothe and Ross County focused on a busy stretch of law enforcement, transportation, and school-related news. On May 15, the site reported on an OVI checkpoint announcement by the Ohio State Highway Patrol for Ross and Pickaway counties, part of a weekend impaired driving enforcement effort. The paper also carried an update from ODOT on new road closures and ongoing commuter delays in Ross County, information relevant to daily travel and local infrastructure concerns. Community and school news included recognition of Tees Valley High School senior Nolan Lupfer, who was awarded the 2026 Arts Around Collegiate Scholarship, reflecting ongoing support for student achievement in the region. The outlet also continued coverage of criminal justice activity in Pickaway County, with a report on prison sentences and not guilty pleas in a busy Wednesday docket. And on May 16, it posted a Chillicothe police blotter summary, noting 14 calls handled during a particularly active Friday for the department. On May 17, the site further reported a fatal pedestrian crash in Chillicothe, showing that public safety remained an active concern in the region. In Darke County and the western portion of the state, County News Online published several items dated May 13 that still informed the late-week local news cycle. Among them were a statewide impaired driving enforcement announcement from Ohio authorities, the obituary of Ronald Dale Shaw of Greenville, a promotional piece for the Hay Seniors graduation recognition effort, and a notice for a large sportsman auction in Greenville scheduled for May 16. The site also carried information on the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program, which remains important for older Ohioans who depend on fresh produce support. These stories reflected the blend of community service, local commerce, and public interest notices typical of county newspaper coverage. In Mercer County, the Daily Standard continued to cover Northwest Ohio community issues. One of the major local infrastructure stories was Mercer County engineer Jim Weichart's announcement that chip and seal roadwork would begin in mid to late May on roughly 98 miles of rural local roads. That kind of maintenance is especially significant in rural counties, where road quality affects farming, school transportation, and everyday travel. The paper also published obituary notices, including Deborah S. Thomas of South Charleston, formerly of Wilshire, and other memorial items. Another local development involved brownfield grants awarded for Rockford and St. Mary's, with more than $1 million in state funds to tear down vacant structures, and prepare sites for future development in Auglaize and Mercer counties. This was one of the more concrete economic development stories in the region, pointing toward future reuse of underused property. Elsewhere in Ohio, local news outlets continued to report on a range of community matters. Cleveland area local news noted incidents such as a police pursuit that ended in a crash in Portage County and community involvement in Lorain County, though details in the available results were limited. These stories suggest that the state's larger metro areas were also dealing with the familiar mix of public safety and neighborhood response that often defines local coverage. Across the counties, a common thread was the importance of community events and school-related activities. FFA and student recognition in Barnesville, scholarship honors in Tees Valley, festival planning in other parts of the region, and public art projects all show how local Ohio news on May 15 and May 16 centered not only on incidents and official actions, but also on the civic life of small towns and counties. At the same time, routine police logs, road construction notices, and highway patrol enforcement announcements underscored the everyday public safety and infrastructure concerns affecting residents. Overall, Ohio's local county news during this period was typical of a strong community press cycle. Memorials and obituaries, high school and youth recognition, law enforcement updates, road work alerts, economic redevelopment news, and local festivals and civic traditions. If you want, I can also turn this into a county-by-county bullet summary or a shorter headline-style briefing.